RK గారు we have on awesome. Can I also like run this thing on this? So fine. Hmm?
Lowest speed is what of
Lowest speed is
this is the lowest speed. I think if people can
oh, 20 word per minute is the lowest, or 2.
that is the character speed. The
Oh.
word effective is 2 words per minute.
Okay.
So we can start. You
Yeah,
announce.
yeah, fine. Uh, so, hi all. We'll be like having a like CW challenge. So, RK will be like providing around like 1 minute of more score and all. So, uh, whoever is willing to like participate in this, just take your notepads, whichever like has that registration kit, and write down and like submit us. We will be like shortlisting based on submissions we got for like another round. It goes on like that. So, interested participants can just volume. Oh, okay. Okay.
Any questions before we start? So I'll send random words, and then you can copy it and then submit it. We'll just it'll be 1 minute session, and then whoever clears that, we'll go to the next speed. So like that, we can have 4 or 5 rounds, and then we have certificates and prizes waiting for you. So please come forward. You can take the seat here, and then I'll start. Once you're ready, I'll start.
And also while like submitting, write your call sign on the paper and submit us after this. Let me know like when you guys like ready, so we just like start.
So can we start now? Good to go? Yeah, plain normal words. The character speed is 20 and the words per minute is 2. You want to, okay, I'll do one thing. 30 seconds, I'll give some sample so that you can warm up. Yeah, it is yeah.
CW challenge. I guess like audio is fine, right?
Character spacing is 20 character speed, but words it is 2 words per minute. It's too high. Didn't get the key. Okay, if it is too fast, I'll manually send. Is the speed okay, or you want still lower speed? Fast. Actually, faster will be easy to copy. So I will increase it. So shall we start now? Yeah. It looks like the speed is okay for everybody. Is it too fast for you? Okay, let us start. Okay now? Okay, so you can just collect from me and we'll. So now if you want, I can send at slower speed. Okay, I'll do that. Then. Yeah. Yes, sir. Is it audible? Okay, we'll start now. Just time it for a minute, okay?
How many minutes?
1 minute.
How does it was it one? What the format actually? Yeah. Okay, fine. This is
Yeah, we'll start, okay? Yeah, now we can.
yeah, it's whoever done, please submit those. I mean, write your call sign and tear it that paper and give it to me. I think registration kit has like notepad. You could use that instead. Okay, first row, no one, right? Did you? Okay. Second row, no one. I think there's only two. Okay. I only got 10%. Write your call sign. So only two, I guess.
Huh?
It's like only two.
Only two. Why don't more people volunteer and join? Only two people are there. Slow. Okay, I'll send it still slow. Okay. Yeah, that's also. Yes. Okay.
Type like 5 words, then write it down and ask.
I know. Ask. Now, I want more participation. So you tell what format you want. We'll do that. Call signs. Okay. That's what I can say. P and U. Okay. Okay. So I need call signs now. A. So I think now we can get into words, right?
Yeah, maybe 10 words like continuously. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wait. Give me a second. I'll just take a count. How many are
Get
done?
more participants.
Could you please like raise hands? How many are like participating in this? Like 10 words. 1, 2, 3 people. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Huh? Last? No, no. Everybody will get the turn to be last and the first. Okay.
No, they said like they need a word. I mean, type
Send me
word.
two-letter
and
word.
People will like say what is or.
Fine. Okay, we'll start.
You.
Yes.
But
Okay. Next. Who's next? SS.
Yes. Yeah, so, how do we select the winner in this case? Okay.
Okay, give me a pen. Then I should note down. Okay. What's your call sign?
VU2KD. Kilo Delta.
and the shorter words.
Some.
What's a call sign?
You are now participating.
A call sign?
Skill.
What's a call sign?
Send again.
Yes.
Venu. Venu call sign. A call sign? Okay. VH plus KD plus Venu. Done.
Then with. যেটা কোটি গেলাম।
Oh, what's a call sign? YBP. And yours.
Kilo delta.
And another one who said? You, right? Yeah. VH.
Speech. Kilo delta. Also, kilo delta. Can.
YBP, right? And VH. And also KD.
Kilo delta.
Yep. Who said from here? Like somebody. A call sign? Huh?
Come on, come on, come on.
What's a call sign?
Send again. Guide, 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 guide. Contest.
Nice. Using YBP, right? Oh yeah, 7 kilo now. What?
And.
One, two. One, two. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Use YO, right? Call sign YO. CJO. Yeah.
Time.
Time.
Okay, last 5 words.
Wait.
Will-
Wait a minute. Who else? One and four. Yep. Because. What's a call sign? What? LQV. From here, okay. That's it. Yep. 1, 2, 3. You're right. Yeah. That's it. 7K. Or KD. Yep. That's it.
Sunday.
Only Venu. Kilo. Venu garu ekkuduన్నారు? Yeah. Yeah.
No, no, no.
What is that?
What?
It is
Oh, fluency.
fluency.
It was frequency anyway.
It was like a frequency.
Some mistake. Frequency is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Master, master.
Master. Master or master?
Mastering.
Master.
Mastering. Wait a minute. VH, right? Yeah. Yeah.
No, no, no. Conversation.
YBP, right? Only one. Yeah.
So, okay. Last word, okay.
Okay. Comprehensive. Comprehension. Comprehension.
Okay. YBP, only one. Only these two. Okay. That's it. So I have to count now.
Cancel.
I'm not sure. Can you call session? So here are the like results. So we just like announcing like top 3. So VU2 KD like got almost like 19 correct, and second would be VU2 VH. Huh? Yeah. So WH, he got around 16 correct answers. And like last one was VU37KN. It's 8 correct answers. Yeah.
So you can please go to her, give your names. She'll write the certificate, and then we'll present it here. Okay. So while that is, you can go and collect the names. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while that is happening, there is an announcement to make. This Vadagara Hammeet 2026 is happening on January 31st and Feb 1st in Vadagara. So all are requested to visit the website www.vadagarahammeet.com. Anyway, there is a poster there with the details, and then register there, and hopefully meet all of you there. So that is the announcement. Thank you. Yeah, we'll anyway give 2 more certificates. So VU3 YBP is there? Yankee Bravo Papa. Who is with the next one? Charlie Juliet Oscar. Okay. So you can also please give your name there. Thank you.
will sign.
View to UPX.
Okay. Okay. Chargaur giving like prizes. Yeah. So first one was Sophie. VU2 KD. Claps.
Ready?
Second is VU2WH.
Praveen.
Yeah.
Yeah, come here. Sir, center. Yes, sir. Sir, one photograph. Sir.
Third one, Prakash Nair, VU37KN.
Good handwriting here. Calligraphy.
Yeah.
Huh? Calligraphy.
Yeah, she's on. And two more, VU3 YPP. Yeah, and the last VU3 CJO, Ajit. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all.
All CW winners come up. केडी किधर गया? केडी सोफी वो किधर गया हमला फर्स्ट आदमी सोफी प्राइज मिला तो भाग गया सेंटर में सेंटर में फरहान सर को बुला लो फरहान सर लास्ट कॉल फॉर मिस्टर
Farhan to come on stage, please. Audience request.
Enter table. Sir, come friend.
Major burden. Major burden. Display ध्यान करना पड़ेगा.
Sir, display दान करना पड़ेगा. Display as well as sound has to come from here.
Sound కూడా కావాలి. అన్ని గాడి
Sir, 1 minute. Audio cables. There's no power coming in this. Sir, is there a? No, sir. Nothing. Sir? Sir, extension is there on the back.
Just take that out. 1 minute. Let me see if that extension works.
Extension.
That's okay. Yeah, thank you.
Sir.
Okay, na? Yeah, hang on. I'm increasing the audio.
slight difference. Hi, this is.
Hello. Okay. So what I did is that I wanted to do this in real time here and assemble the Lark set. It won't take you more than an hour to actually assemble this. But then I thought that it's easier. I'll need an overhead camera and all that I should do it in my shack. So it's a series of small videos of about 5 minutes each. And there are 10 of these. So we'll play one video at a time, and then I'll take you question and answers if there are any on that, and then we'll go on to the next one after that, right? So that's the format that I'm following now. Okay.
This is a series of videos, and we will in real time make the Lark set here. So before I start, very quickly, some caveats here. First, this is not the one that you'll get in the kit. There's only slight difference that this, what you see here is a small switch pad on this PCB which is missing in yours, because now the on-off switch actually comes onto the front panel itself. Second, the front panel PCBs are not in here yet, and I have to make this for Lark program, so I just drilled front panel together, but what you will get will be green in color, but the holes will be nearly the same. Now these apart, I would also like to figure out and tell you about the sort of tools you need. So one, of course, you need a cutter, and it should be this kind of a thing, right? Where you can sort of snip things off the PCB like that, right? So you should be able to snip these things off like that. So that's important. You need a long nose plier. You will need tweezers of sorts to pull the wires from the other end at times. What will also help is some sort of a knife, and you need a good quality 25-watt soldering iron. Right. So with these in place, and if you have these, you should be able to do it. I think you'll also require a screwdriver. A small flathead screwdriver. So this is so I think these are just about all the tools that you need. This apart, of course, you require some good quality soldering wire, and we are good to go.
Okay, so we haven't started any work, but I just wanted to give a glimpse of the sort of hand tools that you require to do this, right? Go on to the next video.
To solder here is the DC jack, and it's pretty simple to do. The lugs are pretty big. You just snap this in here. This is the only place in which it will actually fit in, because there are these three rectangular kind of holes that you see here on the PCB, and while you are soldering it in, it might be a good idea to just hold it pressed by one finger, or just push this down on the PCB on your construction mat, and flow in solder every side, and it should look nice and bright. So the solder is on all sides of the lug, and it sort of forms a sort of a mound of solder around the jack. So see that? Now that's done, and at this point you can actually turn on your power supply and measure the voltage going in here, and when you put this in, you will see that actually no current will flow in, because you have not yet switched on the on and off switch here. So it should actually draw no current right now. Next, what we do here is that we basically solder in the relay. Okay. So that's the relay, and it comes in here now. The relay has got 3 pins on one side. You can see these 3 pins on one side. and a lonely pin on the other side, on both sides. So even this should, very cleanly go inside like that. Again, hold this down. In fact, push it down here like this slightly while you're doing this. And always when you're soldering something with multiple pins, it's always a good idea to just solder the two on the two opposite diagonal ends. And then with your finger, you can sort of push it down a little so that it's flush with the PCB. And now I can solder the rest of the pins as well. I've kept the temperature of this soldering iron at about 367 degrees Celsius. So we have finished with the relay as well. And now we will next put in these 3 audio connectors so that we can add the front panel to this. So there are 3 of these connectors. You have to take care to take out the nuts which go on over these from this while you're doing that. And do this one at a time. Do not rush to finish it off quickly. So it's a little tight. So you have to be a little careful, and if you think that some of these pins are not exactly matching, and that's possible because at times these pins get bent while they are being shipped. So you could actually, for example, here, this pin looks a little out, so I'm just going to slightly bend it down like that, and then try it out again. So here you can see that some of them are not really going inside, but yeah. Now, you can view it this way and see that this is pushed down to the very end of the PCB, right? And once we have done that, then we'll solder these in. You always work from the inside pins and out, so that otherwise if you had soldered this in, then soldering this would have been a little more difficult. So one connector is done. Then we are going to put in the next connector. 3 connectors in all. These also seem to be a little tricky. Not too tricky. So you see that this guy is a little bent inside. I'm just going to pull this out a little. Push this guy back in here. There. This is going in as well. And I'm going to flow the solder into these pins. Be a little careful that these 2 pins are very close to each other, and there should be no solder spilling from one to the other pin there. That's probably the only critical, the most critical, I would say, of all the pins that you're going to solder here. And then this is the third, and there we go. See, even here this is bent a little. I'm not able to see this because the webcam that I'm using to record it for you is getting in the way. I think we have it done here now. Yeah, all the pins showing up now. You have to be careful when you're pushing this in that these pins might bend off, and if they are bent off, then they will not poke through. So you need to hold it at an angle like that and see that all the pins are individually coming out. So now just relax back, take a deep breath, and see that all the pins are properly soldered, and there are mounts showing all around it, right, around each one of them. So let me take a sip of coffee. With this in, we are actually in a position to mount the front plate. So on the front plate, this is going to be the volume control and on-off switch, and these are the three front panel connectors, and to this we just screw in. There's very little actually thread that's poking out here, so you need to be a little careful in getting that right. So it helps if you have a little slight amount of nails. So there we go. And you can tighten this. Don't tighten this too much, because if you tighten this too much, it will pull the jack out. So just enough that you have a firm idea that it is actually gotten in there properly. And as long as it can hold the front board together, it's actually pretty sturdy. So with this, we have completed putting in the front panel, and the next thing is that we are going to mount the two knobs and the controls for tuning and volume control and on-off. That would be in the next video.
Is this all clear, or do you need any, right?
We are going to install the two potentiometers. Now you'll see one potentiometer has an on-off switch at the back of it, and the other doesn't have that. So this is going to be used for your tuning purpose, and this is going to be used as a volume control, right? Okay, so very simply, I'll just push this through. There's a nut here on this end, and I'm going to push this through. The reason why we are first doing these is so that the controls are in place, and you will be able to test out the stages as we make them come live. So there we are. Finger tight is good enough for the time being. Later on, when you're done with everything, you can probably use something like a plier to tighten this, but don't tighten it too much. It's not a good idea to tighten it too much in any case, because even if this thing shakes a little or becomes loose, not much will be lost, because only DC is coming from here to the VFO. This part is a VFO, right? Okay. So next we are going to wire these to the PCB connections here. You see these three here. These will come up to each one of the wires here, and these three will also go in here. So let's do that. For this it's best that I use some junk wires so that I know which is going where, right? So let me start with black, and always it's a good idea to use a wire stripper of this sort. It's very quick to work with this, and it works very well. When you try using, let's say, a blade or something to strip wires, they are more often than not, they cut through the copper as well. I'm trying to use something so that I can show you how we are going to be doing this stuff. Okay. Let me see if I can put this in here. Okay. No, I will need this, so it will have to be something else. Let me see what I can put in here. Okay. Right. So now in wires, it's always a good idea to pre-tin up these wires before you try soldering them in. And you don't have to actually push these wires through either. You can just put a dab of solder there and solder it right from this side itself. See this? Okay, there we are. So this guy comes in on this side. Trim this up a little and run a bit of spot of solder here, bend this in here and tap this down here. Right. I usually tend to use yellows for the center tap of the potentiometer. Pre-tin this. I hate to get too much of the solder onto the iron itself. These are easy to actually put them through. There's nothing very remarkable about this. No, this is happening because this is not tinned properly. So you need to see to it that the solder flows onto this properly, and you have a nice blob of solder sticking to the wire rather than just wrapping around it. And whenever you're not sure of how good the joint is, you can slightly tug it to see to it that, and test the strength of the solder. Okay. I'll use orange next. I think these wires that I've just pulled out are pretty old ones. So they're not tinning up properly. And this will go to the third pin here. Whenever you're tinning this, see to it that you move this thing away from the PCB rather than do it on top of the PCB, because it's quite possible that a blob of solder might actually fall on the PCB and create a short where you do not want it to. There we are. And you can also, sort of wrap this in some sort of a sticky tape here, just to make it look cleaner, although electrically it's not going to add much to the performance. Same thing we'll have to do here as well. So in this case, I'm going to tin this up first here, as well as here. Much of kit building is a little bit of tedious work, but then so is everything else. You have to be careful that, for example, some of this wires do not crawl out and touch the next pin. The iron is turning dirty. Off camera, I'm wiping it up. First wire has come in. I'll take a yellow for the middle. So we've already finished wiring up the volume control. Now we're wiring up the tuning control. What you'll note here, and something that you need to be careful about, is that the white starts from the left side, comes on to the left side of the potentiometer, and the right one will come to the right side. Same thing here. If you see this black guy, it's starting from the left lug here and going to the left pad here. And the right pad is orange from here, and the right pad is orange from here. If you reverse the connections, then for example, the volume control will work upside down. But apart from that, nothing else will happen. You're not going to blow up anything if you have done it the other way around. So once these 6 wires are done, we are more or less done with the front panel controls, except that we haven't wired the switch yet. So I'm just going to use 2 wires to do the switch. The pad for this particular switch is going to be different on your PCBs than what you see here. So I would rather that you look at the Lark manual, assembly manual, to see exactly where you have to solder this rather than follow it up here. Because as I said, that this PCB that I'm demonstrating this with is not the final PCB. The final PCB as of today has not yet been delivered. So we're just waiting for that to come through before we can start shipping the lock sets. There's been an unusual delay with our PCB manufacturer, who's usually very prompt, but this time they've just delayed it by 1 week from the time the PCBs were ready to the time they should have shipped it, which is typically a couple of hours, but this time they've taken almost a week to start that work. I think it's something to do with Black Friday, which was there last week. Oops, I'm doing a horrible job here. Usually this kind of stuff will just happen, which is, you know, the wire came out. It usually happens when the other side has not been soldered. So if I had first soldered this and the one on the potentiometer together, then this wouldn't have fallen down. Now, with the on-off switch, it really doesn't matter, you know, which wire goes where, because it's just a switch which is switching on the power which goes in from here. It connects it or disconnects it from rest of the circuit. So there we're done, almost done, that is. Now we are DC ready. That's DC is flowing everywhere now. at this point, I can actually, this is off the screen, but I have a 12-volt power supply here, and I'm going to connect the 12-volt power supply to the radio. And it's vital that the surface that you're putting it on is not metallic. For example, I shouldn't have been resting it on this because the attenuator has a metallic body. Okay, so I push this in. Keep watching the multimeter or the VOM that you're connecting to monitor the current which will flow into this at 12 volts. So you put this in and then turn it on, and about 50 milliamperes approximately is what the current draw should be now. And once we put the rest of the circuitry in, it's going to go up to 80 milliamperes. So if it's 50 milliamperes right now, you're doing good.
Okay, this is actually a little tricky, and most of the soldering is here in the front panel. But beyond this front panel is the audio amplifier, and that's what we will see next. Do you want me to speed it up a little? Huh? Okay. You'll not be able to make out much what I'm saying, but I think it will be all right. Huh? Yeah, 1.5 times. That's
this part, it's very simple. You're not going to do any soldering. We're just going to find out how the audio amplifier is doing. And that's very simple. The way we do that is by plugging in an earphone into the leftmost jack. And the important thing here is this, that you can use earphones, but be sure to keep the volume very low, because in case this is going into self-oscillations, audio self-oscillations, it can blow your eardrums. Not really, but it can be very painful. So you could have used these, but I prefer actually plugging in an external speaker to do this. I don't know whether the mic is picking up a small hum of my speaker. I actually have a speaker here, and I've connected the audio jack to the speaker. And now what we do is this, that we basically plug this guy in here, right? And as I turn this switch, plug in the power connection and turn this on, you can hear a hiss, see, going down. The hiss is there, and it's gone down again. And one thing which you can do is that turn the volume down and hold a metallic piece, or even your finger here, and you'll be able to get some hum out of the speaker or the earphones if you've connected them, and that basically tells you that see there, that this is working. So that's the basic test, that the audio is working here. I turn this off and I disconnect the power. Always be in a hurry to disconnect the power, because it's very easy to forget that the power is connected. So that essentially, is the audio test, that the audio section has been working.
The next section is actually very, it's the toughest thing to do, which is to get the VFO made and get it on the right frequency. And this is a way of, actually, we took a lot of effort to see to it that the VFO is easy to set. As a result, the VFO operates at a frequency which can be tuned on the 80 meter band of your regular radio. Okay, so this is one thing that you'll have to see in some detail. There is one section of it where I'm just winding a coil. I'll fast forward that particular section.
To attempt to make the VFO coil and install it around here. The coil will go in between these two holes here, and if you see a pack of toroids, there are small 4 of these small yellow toroids and 1 large yellow toroid, and this is the toroid that you need for the VFO, and you have to wind this. So the way to wind it is like this, that you Oops, I'm connecting it out from the other end. Okay. We need about 2 feet of this wire. So I'm going to measure out 2 feet of wire. This is about 1 foot and another foot. So about this much of wire. Unlike digital electronics, it's a craft to get the VFO stable. And the way to do it is that the windings have to be firm. They don't have to be tight, but they shouldn't be loose at all. They should be firm so that they don't move. And because you have to pull a lot of cable both ways, it's best to start by threading this and keeping it in the center. Now, the way you count turns in a toroid is that each time it passes through the center, you essentially have counted 1 turn. For example, now you have got 1 turn. We will need 33 turns, so we'll do about 16 turns from this side. So now what you have to do is here, when you hold this, see to it that the thumb and the finger are pressing down firmly so that this thing does not slip through. Okay, it shouldn't slip through. If you do this, the wire still stays in place, right? And then you pass another turn through. Okay, pull it tight and move your thumb and finger to now hold both the windings, right? So that the windings don't slip. So we have done 2. It's easy actually. 3. Again, push it through. Then 4. This is a thick wire, so it's actually easier to do it with a thick wire than not. We have 4 turns now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Usually when you're pushing this in, if it goes and gets stopped by a finger, this usually bends away. The end of the coil bends away, the wire bends away, and then it becomes very difficult to thread it through. So don't hold it here or even pull it from the end, but pull it at about 1 inch away from the end of the wire. So now I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns. This is the 8th, 9, 10, 11, and all the time you have to keep pushing these turns closer to each other. We've done 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've done 16 turns, and if I do another 16 from the other side now, from this side, we'll be up to 32 turns. So there we go. So 32 and 33. So we have 33 turns now on this. I'm going to cut this so that just about less than 1 inch of wires are there on both sides, and I'm going to scrape it. Usually I have to scrape it on from 4 directions. So this is one, then exactly the other side, right? And then the one in at, let's say, 9 o'clock position and 3 o'clock positions for the wire. So when you've scraped it properly, the way to know it is that you have to, you rotate it under bright light like this, and if you see that some part is still brownish, then you go back and scrape that particular side of the wire again. I think now if you compare this with this other one, you can see that the white metal is shining through. And another test of this is that it should easily take solder now. If it does not get tint easily, that means that you haven't scraped it properly. I can actually take out the deep end of this. So we have this thing tinned up now, and I am going to solder this very temporarily. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put in tiny blobs of solder there, and one and two. So now we have temporarily connected the coil, the VFO coil here. Next we're going to switch it on and find out the frequency that this is at.
So hello. Yeah, so here we've just finished putting the VFO coil in. The next one is actually a little, this is actually the most critical when it comes to, setting the frequency. So we just go with that.
Once we have
Just
installed,
flip this around, hang on. Yeah, okay.
once we have installed the VFO coil, we have to set its frequency. And this is a little tricky, because now let's figure out what frequency should it be set to. Now, as you know that our IF is 11.059. So let's say we are at 7.000, and to this, if we add 4.059, this will get to the IF frequency of 11.059. So essentially it has to start from 4.059, so that this adds to 7 and becomes 11.059. And similarly, if we go to, let's say, 7.2, right? And to this, we will have to add about 3.859, so that it again gives 11.059. So your VFO frequency has to move between about 4.06 megahertz to about 3.8 megahertz, right? And fortunately, these frequencies fall within the ham band. So what we need to do is, we basically need to monitor these frequencies on a friend's or your own ham radio receiver. And to this, what we'll do is we'll add a small mag loop. So what you need to do is that to the antenna jack, we basically solder a small magnetic loop. Right between the earth and the hot end. When you're trying to pick signals at close proximity, a mag loop, this is actually a very, very poor person's mag loop antenna, right? Okay. And next we basically switch this guy on here, right? That's on. And well, I don't know how this switches on. I think it's this. Oh, I need to connect the power to this. I need to switch for power. Here's some power line, and where does the power go? Okay, there we are. All right. So, so you'll have to search for the power for where this guy is. There we are. So it's already at 7020, and when I tune up, this should be going to, where has it gone to? So from 3.7, this has gone down to let's see where. So it's very low in frequency, right? It needs to come up. So we'll remove some turns from here so that it spans the frequencies that we need. So a simple way to do that is don't bother with shortening the wire yet, just take out number of turns until we get it to the correct frequency range. Let's see now where this is. Switch this on again. Let me see if I can get this thing to moving very slow. Yeah. I think we may have to remove some more turns. A quicker way is to use a frequency counter, but I just wanted to show you that it can be done with this too. Maybe we should remove one more turn. There it is. So it's going down from 3.7 down. We need it to go further up, right? So we will decrease one more turn from the other side. And we basically keep doing this until we get the lower end at about 3.8. Let's see where this has come now. There it is. To know that this is where this is the VFO, you can slightly tune it off here, and the frequencies will, you can see the frequencies are jumping, right? So when this is completely counterclockwise, it's at the lowest frequency. This lowest frequency has to still come up, right? So from 33 turns, we're down to 31 turns. I'm going to remove one more turn and then see what happens. So this is the lowest frequency right now, which is 3.941, but we needed to go even further up, right? And we'd probably have to take out one more turn. That's one way to do it. The other way is to just, spread the turns here, and this will actually come down the frequency, because each turn is taking it out by about 150 kilohertz. So it might be easier for us to get the exact frequency by doing this. Let's see where the frequency is right now. Wow. So if you remember, our VFO had to go from 4.059 down to 3.8. So right now it's at 4.67, and when we come down, tune up this way, this frequency will go down, and let's see where it goes down to. This is it, right? So it's about almost a little more than 200. Now you'll see that the frequency is drifting, right? You'll have to keep chasing this. That's because this is hanging in the air and it's got all sorts of other problems, right? In the sense that we've just soldered it, so it's also hot. But we know that the number of turns are exact. And now we should not fiddle around with how the spread is. So the easiest way to do that is to basically use some sort of a super glue. This is an Indian version of the super glue called Fevikwik, and this comes in the kit. So the first thing to do is to freeze the turns as they are here. So the way I do it is I just flow a bit of the super glue onto these windings. Mind you that we are only doing this on the windings. We are not yet actually we are not sticking this to the PCB yet. We will also do that shortly. So to do that, first switch this off, okay, and take this out. Now we just have to wait for a while for this thing to, we just wait for half a minute or so for this to dry up before we can actually, it's very sticky right now. So I'm going to pause the video a little bit to allow this to dry up a little, and then we'll resume in about half a minute.
So that's the tricky part, but essentially you have to, the other way would have been to put up a capacitive trimmer, and trimmers are not available actually, good quality trimmers are not available. So you just need to keep taking the turns off and moving the turns around until you get it right. You can do it with a receiver. This is the toughest way of doing it, but if you don't have access to a frequency counter, this is the easiest way to do it. If you have a frequency counter, you can just put the frequency counter and know the exact frequency that it's oscillating at. Okay, so
now it's sufficiently dried up, enough that I can actually work with it, still sticking to my fingertips. But I've essentially now dried up enough that I can actually work with it.
sorry.
Once we have installed the VFO coil, we have to set its frequency, and this is a little tricky because now it can be done with this too, 941,
Already done this, right?
but we need dried up enough that I can actually work with it. This side doesn't look too happy. I can, right.
So
I'm going to lay this down on the,
essentially we have trimmed the wires of the thing which is already set with the super glue, and now we actually glue this back onto the PCB itself. And then we check the frequency range once more. You'll see that the frequency is drifting because the glue setting.
you'll see that so the frequency is slightly drifting. In fact, it's drifting quite a lot because we've just ordered it, and this is expected right now, okay? But what we need to do is, because the frequency is almost right, is to actually glue this to the PCB itself, which is what we'll do now. So I'm just going to put some more glue onto this, and as you can see, I'm being a little liberal with the glue, and I'll turn this down, and I'm just going to hold it down for a couple of seconds for this to glue up properly. Yeah. We just wait for the glue to take effect, but essentially now we have a full tuning range of about almost 200 kilohertz of 7 megahertz band, because from 3.836 this was going to come down, and let's see how much down it can go down to. Okay. There we are, even further down. And 4.059 is where 7 megahertz will start. So I hope that we are able to cover the lowest end of the band. There we are, right? As you can see by now, the frequency drift has come down substantially, and that's because the coil is now sort of cooling down, and the glue is also sort of settling down. So in another 5-10 minutes it should be ready to use. But we are done now with the main challenge of building this radio, which was to calibrate the VFO. The rest of it is mostly soldering. And
yeah, so this is actually the critical part, and following this is the
once the VFO
we have to basically solder in the crystals, and I will just fast forward this part because there is not much to do here.
Once the VFO is in place, now we will start to build the BFO and the crystal filter, and that's pretty simple. There are 5 crystals packed within your. You just need to solder them one by one. One by one is the rule. Do not try soldering all of them together. So this is the BFO crystal. I've just placed it inside here, and I'll hold it pressed with my finger like that, and with my, I'm going to flow some solder onto this, and basically, yeah, soldered the BFO. With this, the BFO will be on in case you have an oscilloscope or a spectrum analyzer or even a general purpose radio, a general coverage radio. You should be able to, when you power it up now, listen to the BFO on 11.059 megahertz, slightly above the frequency actually. Be sure that you've pushed this all the way inside and you're holding this crystal and pushing on it.
So anyhow, it's
so with this, the crystal filter, the BFO, which is the fifth part, is done. And now we come to some of the most challenging things to solder on this board, which are the trifilar coils. And for this, it will be the next video.
So actually, there are 2 videos that you need to watch. One was of the VFO setting. The other is of the trifilar coils. The trifilar transformers have got 3 windings, and they need to be, soldered in the proper order. Okay, so just watch this one. If there's one video that you need to follow, it is this one. And I'm going to play this one for you. Just watch this a little carefully.
Try to solder the trifilar coil.
Sorry? Yeah, once we have played them here, I'll put them on YouTube. Okay. I didn't get the time to do this. This was actually recorded the day before yesterday night. And each video is taking about half an hour to upload. So probably by today evening, I'll start uploading. By tomorrow morning, all of them will be there. So there is a playlist called Lark Set on YouTube. All the videos will be on that. Okay. And the manual is also there. Pardon me? Okay, I'll add that. Yeah. They are there on the schematic itself. Yeah, that's it. Yes. What else do you want? Where? No. What you have here is correct. Okay, yeah.
Transformer is. Now usually we know that a transformer has got 2 windings, the primary winding and the secondary winding. This is called a trifilar coil because it actually has 3 windings. And these 3 windings have, let's say, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So 1 and 6, between 1 and 6, if we number these wires, 1 and 6 are the same wires, are 2 ends of the same wire. Similarly, 2 and 5 would be 2 ends of the same wire, and the last winding is 4 and 3. So if you see the trifilar coil here, I'll try holding this close to the camera so that you can see this. There are 3 windings on either side, right? You see this? So there are 3 windings on either side here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So now you have to isolate the wire which is coming from this here to here, here to there, and there to there. So the way you do it is that you will require a multimeter. That's the multimeter, and you put this on the continuity range where it beeps in case the current can flow through it. So you catch hold of one leg here on one side and test where the second end of the same coil is. So this is actually one winding. This winding is one winding, right? So this is one winding, and I hope we get lucky, and this is the second winding. The second winding, and this here is the third winding. At times they may get flipped over, so you basically have to isolate the three windings separately and find the connectivity between them. Let me just expand this a little more so that I can show this to you again once more. So this is a coil here, and as you can see that these two windings show continuity, right? And then these two show continuity, and then these two show continuity. And I have now here isolated them, and this is how they will go in. So those three, the 3 pins on this side will go on this side of the PCB. You can see them here, right? So let me see if I can get this. Okay, here we are. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 and 6, 2 and 5, and 3 and 4. And these are the windings which will go into those. Let me just zoom this out so that we don't have to worry too much about this. Okay. So before I try even inserting it, I'm going to essentially snip these wires down. Now when I'm snipping these wires down, see to it that I snip this from the tinned area and not close enough that the tinned area is entirely snipped off. So I'll leave about approximately 0.1 inch of the tinned area as I'm snipping this. Once again, I can't stress enough that you need to test these windings before you put these transformers in. Okay, so the middle one also needs to be tested. Test them twice, thrice, as many times as you feel comfortable that you're doing it right. And then it doesn't matter which way, by the way, you insert this, both ways will do. And usually what I do is I start by putting first pair of legs in, okay, or I usually use a pair of tweezers to straighten them up so that they are all aligned properly. My fingers are still sticky with the super glue that I just used to. Okay, so now I'm trying to first insert the 3 wires on one side, and then 3 more on the other side. So one is out. This one wire hasn't gone inside, and I'll just nudge it inside from the tweezers. And let's see what's happening on this side. So now on this side you can see that the middle one hasn't come out yet. And I'll try pushing it in from here. Now you can see that all the 3 wires are sticking out, right? And now I can solder them. I'm not too happy with one particular guy, this one, it's too short. So I'll try pulling it out a little more. And that should do it. Usually to hook it in, I just try, bending it up a little. But if you bend them if you pull too much of it out and try bending it, it's possible that, you do not, you could short it with the second winding. So that's one transformer.
So I hope this is clear. You know how you're putting the transformers in, because the windings have to be in parallel. That is 1 to 6, 2 to 5, and 3 to 4. If you just get this right, everything else will work. I will fast forward it because most of it is again putting in more of the same trifillers. So that's the last one that I'm putting in. So as you can see here, it took me about 15 minutes to do
2 holes until you get this right.
3 transformers.
That actually concludes the trickiest part of building this radio now, and we have put in the trifiller coils, the transformers rather. For close-up, for close-up pictures of these, the Lark Sets manual has fairly detailed directions as to how to insert these in.
Okay, now there's just one thing left to make it start working as a receiver, okay, which is the RF bandpass filter. And once we do that, then we are in a position to actually test it out as a receiver.
RF bandpass filters, you have to take out the 2 small yellow toroids and wind 21 turns on each. To do that, you have to pull out about 1 foot of the enameled wire. Here's
I'm
the
going to fast forward this.
scale 7. So this seems to be all right. It's showing up here. So if you try soldering, I have a feeling that this is
So
not
I've made 2 of those coils, okay, both of them
stripped up
21
quite
turns.
well. Because I can still see parts of enamel which are still lying there. Now I think it's much better. So having done these 2, these have to very simply come in these 2 places. So simple enough. All you need to do is push these 2 in here like this, and it comes out the other end. And solder them up. Then the next one. Be careful that you do not push in so much of the wire. Like for example here, as you can see, I'm not sure whether you can actually see this, but the enameled wire is showing up here. So if you try soldering it to this, the connection will not be proper. So you have to just push this wire back until the point that only the tinned part is sticking out and not the enameled part. Then you can be sure that the solder is going to be proper. An easy way to check that you have actually soldered a coil properly is to find the connectivity between the two ends that you have soldered. The only catch is that you need to hold the probes down to the PCB pad rather than to the wire itself. So you have to keep it down here and check this. So this seems to be all right. And with this we have finished the RF band pass filter as well. So now as you can see that this radio is actually fairly well done. The receiver is almost done. And all we need to do is we need to solder in the BNC connector now. And I think with that BNC connector going inside this, we will have done most of the receiver part of this. Right. Hold this down and keep pushing it down, and you have to also unscrew the BNC nut, otherwise the BNC is not going to fit in there properly. And you see with my hand I'm pushing this down here. I think my soldering iron has gone to sleep. These two are actually just holding the connected to the PCB. They do not connect to anything which is electrically significant. All right, so now we have connected the BNC socket as well. And we are actually ready to test the receiver now. And that's actually pretty simple to do. We switch on, or rather we connect to a speaker here. Let me switch on the speaker. Sorry, I think I've knocked this out. Okay. So I have the speaker here. And let's see if
next one. Hang on.
something.
I should have cut this short.
To cut the previous video short because the antenna was missing. I just got the antenna
Antenna was
hooked
not
up
there.
now, just
I
now.
had to pull the antenna out.
Brought it into the shack. And I just need to
My antenna was not in the
Wire
shack, so I
to
had to
the-
go out and bring it back. So that's why it's taking a little time. I'll actually edit this out later on.
which I'm connecting in here. It's really exciting. Each time you switch on and get a new receiver up and running, there is something very magical about listening to a radio for the first time. It's an unmissable excitement. So there we go. And can you hear the... Wow. Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm very impressed. Sweet CW. Although the bandwidth is a little broad for sake of SSB, but you can still hear that the SSB signals through. And look at how noiseless the radio is. Let's see if we can catch some SSB. This appears to be some broadcast. Why am I not using a proper knob? Okay, there we go. This is going to make it easier. Okay, so we've done the receiver part now, and we will now proceed to finishing the transmit portion in the next video.
Yeah. Huh? This was the day before evening, about 10 p.m. probably. It was very unusual to see that CW signal, at that time. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Part is to
Okay.
part is to basically finish the transmitting filters and the driver transistors. So what I'll do is I'll first actually mount the transistors and with the two transistors, they're just two transistors, and all you need to do is you need to mount them in this direction, but we'll come to that actually. Let me just follow the manual as the manual says. So the important thing is that I have saved you the time to look at me tediously winding these extra toroids, and each one of these two is 10 turns from about 6 inches long enameled wire, 28 standard wire gauge, but these two are actually different, and the reason is this, that if you look at the power amplifier here, the output circuitry has L5, which is 1.1 microhenries, and the L4, which is 1.3 microhenries, right? So they are slightly different values, this being the smaller of the values. This is 1.1 and 1.3. As a result, the L4 has actually different turns from L5, right? So we are going to now solder all these in. First we will solder these in, and what I've done is I've kept, just to know which is which, the one with the shorter leads is with the one with the 19 turns, and that basically goes in here. So I take them out on the side and solder this guy off. And then the one with the longer leads is 21 turns. Which is called L4. So here we go. L4 and L5 are done. Next, we also solder in the L6 and L7. At times, if you put a little too much of solder, you can actually, clean it up with a desoldering wick, or you too much of a hassle. I think there's a problem with getting too much solder when I was tinning it. I'm just going to remove that before I insert this in. Okay, let's try now. So now we're done with that as well. And this leaves us with, I'm just turning this slightly by 90 degrees instead of keeping it like this so that I can insert the transistors here properly. And these transistors, the flat side of the transistor has to face inwards. So this is one, and this is the second transistor. I'll actually solder one first, and then go for the next one. I bend the lead slightly so that it doesn't slip out. Solder seems to be fine. And now the second transistor. So the transistors are done as well. And the final thing to be added onto the PCB here for the driver, for the PA, is the PA bias trimmer. you go, hello, 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 hello. You can see that the current is jumping when you're talking, and I think we're done now. We are in business. You can snip this to a shorter length so that you can attach the supplied knob to this, and that's the knob which comes with this. So this knob can actually go over here, and I can't do this while holding the camera, but essentially the radio is on, and well, happy DX.
So that's it, right? It's in 12 parts, and it will take you about half a day to make it, even if you do it comfortably. And don't rush yourself while doing this. Enjoy the build. It's very easy to do. We have built about 5-6 of these by now, and each time they work on the first shot. And one of the main design criteria was that it should be easy to build and easy to align. So, and this is all done in real time. Actually, if you add up the running time of all of them, it's less than an hour. So for someone who's done it before like me, I can finish off, completely soldering and aligning it. The important thing is that the trifilar transformers which are being given in the kit here, they are actually already pre-wound for you. So that's a tricky one because you have to twist them properly and then wind them. So that is taken out from the equation, and you'll be able to do it yourself, right? So if you have any questions about any particular one of them, I'll be happy to ask. But otherwise, I think we are done, and I think this lunch is ready. Sorry. Pardon me? The entire kit of the additional parts required, in a bag, they are available at the Lark stall, okay? Or if you'd like to do it yourself, there is somebody selling just the toroids also here in another shop. You can just buy the toroids from there, okay? I know that the cost of the kit, of the toroids here in our kit is actually slightly more, but basically we're trying to raise some money for the club because, as you know, it's costed the club a lot to get the PCBs and all that done. So think of it also as a donation if you are trying to pick up rest of the parts from here. All right? Thanks. Okay, lunch, everybody.
net controllers. Now can I request VU2 BGG OM Balachandra. VU3 TBU Rajesh, please. VU2 YVK Vijay K Yadav. Okay, thank you.
So, good afternoon once again to everybody. Thank you very much for this memento, and on behalf of Humble Belgaum I thank all of you, and more particularly LARC Hyderabad for having a recognized Humble Belgaum as one of the best nets. Last but not the least, I would like to mention that this is all possible only on account of all the support and love and affection given by you all. Thank you.
Hello.
Then I will do this job. Then later I will do this job. But at this moment it is not possible.
Microprotects have that problem of alignment, right? This BFO alignment and there's no alignment problem of frequency at all because there is no outcome. Yeah, so the BFO frequency of the change. So basically, no, I'll tell you what you do. You basically tune on to a signal and then change the VFO. Yeah. Then you know what the frequency actually is. So the VFO is actually close to the lower sideband. That is, the VFO is higher. You bring it down.
Okay.
About 100 hertz or 200.
Yeah, it will just be a minor thing there. Yeah. And any way of reducing the splatter of the USB on the LSB or LSB on USB? No, that's the filter. That's the filter.
No, it is actually very aggressive on the microprotector. Most of the splatter comes from bad transmitters.
Sure, it better say. Stand it better.
Now receivers are not at fault for this splatter. Transmitters transmitting all over the place.
UBTEX when you're transmitting, the other side is saying that there is a...
That's splatter. Now you have to basically get to the drive.
Right, okay. Yeah, that small port, yeah.
सबको प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी तो उसमें कहाँ चेंज करना है क्या चेंज करना है दोबारा कैसे
Once you reduce the drive, then you shout into it, then it's back to the
This is cloud version and this is.
Actually, voice modulation is a learned art. I don't have it. I know a lot of people who have it. Okay. I go on for 1 hour, I'll call CQ, nobody will come. Okay, but somebody else, like Sharat is like that. No arrest. You give him mic in 5 minutes, and the dead of the band, he'll get signals. How? Yeah, just speaking is different. Yeah, some connector. It's only a mechanical, there's no software to that at all.
नहीं तो इसको खोल के फेंक दो दूसरा ना लगा This is a simple answer.
दो ऐड कर लेंगे
क्योंकि वो 5 रुपये के लिए ना don't spoil your gadget. Because there is a LM380, it may be burned out, it may be LM380 burned out. So you are going to replace this IC. Again you burned out this other portions of assembly component. That's why I am telling you, better to throw it.
And tell us where you are going. The other thing, Ubitex, the Ubitex is also shortest. Is that
Well, that happens because as the mic pin is going in, it briefly connects the ground to the PTT.
Yes. This goes to the transmission mode. Transmission mode is another side.
so then it goes into transmission mode, but why is it that the final is low?
Finals never come for my Ubitex.
Before switch on, you connect all these connector, whatever.
You know, actually,
Running condition में कोई भी connector उसका निकालना नहीं. That is the safety.
That and even the P3 file, they never blow air. Everything
अगर आप चलते हुए लगा हुआ है, खोलोगे और इंडियन कंपोनेंट्स है, ये जितना भी जगह रहता है वो इंडियन कंपोनेंट्स है. और ये पूरा
radio,
थर्ड ग्रेड क्वालिटी है.
अच्छा, once it's on the radio, the bias.
ठीक है. मैं क्या करता हूँ, जितना भी उपकरण किसी में उनमें से माइक का जो सॉकेट है तकलीफ उठा के निकलता है. बहुत ही हाई क्वालिटी. और ये मार्केट्स में जो 10 रुपये मिलते हैं
Exactly. No modulation.
मेरे एक्सपीरियंस में मेरी इक्विपमेंट में काम किया, फ्रांस के काम किया, उसके बाद जो फिनलैंड के इक्विपमेंट में काम किया, तो मेरे को देखते हैं इसमें क्या कंपैरिजन है, ये क्वालिटी है और उसके चलते
चैलेंजिंग है.
Even in city, I'm telling you, you take out the antenna, okay, and key down on microbitex for 5 minutes. This will not show. Those are clear. It's a very robust system. It's got phase noise, it's got other things, you know. Linearity is not very good. All that is there. But the bad linearity actually helps because it flips the audio. So that small signal appears stronger because of all this, right? What happens is the human voice is such that there are very few peaks. So when you say 5 watts, the average transmitted power is about half a watt actually, that's all. It's not much. As a result, other side, only if you over-modulate, the average power comes up. What it should have had is an RF flipper, not audio flipper, RF
There are a lot of people who run this. Compounded और भी कर रहे हैं.
वो तो लगाते हैं. वो लगाया ना साइन. वो 25 पैसे के बंदर को 75 पैसे की रस्सी है उसकी इतना बड़ा कंपाउंडर and this and that. This big thing is.
Max 6414.
नहीं 98.
Small module. They are using it. Perfect as the should be. No clipping, nothing.
What's it called? Max?
No, Max.
कंप्रेसर है कंप्रेसर
Compressor है, compressor.
My compressor.
और ऑटोमेटिक गेन एंड प्लस कंप्रेसर दो तीन आते हैं अलग अलग.
Any word on the Ubitex version 4?
They are using that thing for ALC also.
हाँ.
What's it called?
Max का कुछ है. Logo in the box is selling them.
Max 9814.
दो हैं.
9814. 9814.
Max mic AD mic वाला.
Yes, yes. Yeah. That is the modular amplifier. there. That number is Sierra Lima.
Sierra Lima. Sierra Mike. 2216.
2167 है. 2167.
ये मैक्स वाला अच्छा है विद द मॉडल
वैसे एनजीएम भी है एनजीएम
Yes, MGM also.
You have to give supply.
Yes. Fiber supply. Is there, Sierra Lima 6270. That is product
2670.
6270. That is product IC. Voice support, automatic can control device.
Yes.
Nobody knows.
But that is not available now.
With me.
With you.
Yes. If you interest that, I can provide you.
That is called the BOG.
Yes. BOGAD.
Yes. You have?
Yes.
How many pieces?
One piece is for you. You can ask me them. It is very secret one. No possible.
You get cheap.
Yes.
You got good price for it or not?
जो इसका influence करता है. क्या? Sierra Lima 627. Okay.
Acrobatics is basically a child of
No problem.
See, actually, multi-band, you should actually take the large set of the acrobatics. Okay? And add band pass filters for every band. It's only single filter. Every day I check it. Square wave is a good thing in itself, but because of the phase noise in it, no PLL ring, no, actually the SDRs are even worse, because we go to the they are not as clean. That heatsink is enough for 100 watts. You have to give 12 volts everywhere. Please be careful. Let's say only the PA part. The track. 30 volts. The thing is, you get 24 volt SMS power supplies like that. You have to crack it to 30 volts. Just put that in. But they are noisy, we can't use them. Use only speaker parts. They'll give same amount of power. Yeah. But value in software, you are feeling it. You can look at settings. The 15 watts per transistor, Lamakaan. 15 watts, one transistor. You have two transistors, so even 30 watts. Actually, you know why you should not buy RF cards or something. RF cards is selling it for $30. What numbers will he give? I need 1,000 per month. See, the thing is, the surplus quantity होती है, they'll sell 50, then that fellow will run out. Based on that, he'll start production saying that it is available for $200, then suddenly that thing will become $30. You need constant supply of standard things coming off factory, traceability. Otherwise, you can't sell this.
Well, I think it's been reproduced, no? RD16.
So, RD16 is now being reproduced by a Japanese company.
And I heard package is different, but CO220.
No, times they are just, at times they use IRF 510 and on top of that they'll print RD 16 and sell it.
Yeah, that's what
That doesn't work because it's a reverse. You say, ye ho gaya, this thing goes. Then you rub it out, IRF 510 uske niche.
No, genuine supply, 5 pounds and 9 pounds.
Really?
The pricing. He's selling, I have to ask him the question. He's selling 5 pounds and 9 pounds.
In UK, it's got a registered dealer here.
I have to ask him why there are two different.
You see, the thing is, IRF 510 does a numerically good job, and actually it is far more efficient. The IRF 510's grain, EDS, is 120 volts. So you can pull it up on a mismatch. Simply that driving into the electricity, but see what kind of it. If you are very low impedance drive. As long as that, see, Alison Parent, KG1 GMX, she has used got 300 watts out of them on 50 megahertz.
300 nahi yaar, 30 bola. 300, you're talking about that address, huh? QRP lab.
No.
She made that thing for him.
No, that is different.
300 watts.
8 of them. 4 plus 4.
I'm waiting for that. Wait for that.
मैं बोला यार 2 पे डाला.
Did we say two? Assumption is the mother of all.
I know she said that she has got it on 56 meters.
Sir, can I stop live?
Okay, all done.
Okay, sir.
Home now.
8 of them.
Sir, live also, I'm instinct got it. Live also, I will stop.